Hey. Hello, everybody. And yeah, we wanna have a larger, lighter talk before getting into the dive to the plasma. We wanna talk about the more social structure and the social problems regarding the airdrops and the incentivization. So some people might say airdrop is great. Incentivization of this industry is going well. And some people might say that it's kind of broken. And yeah, we wanna have a guest from the best projects regarding speaking about this topic. And the first, Gitcoin, founder of Gitcoin, Scott Moore. No, you know guys, Gitcoin, right? And the Gitcoin, they're kind of donation platform and incentivizing their and the enhancing their Web3 infrastructure and the Web3 ecosystem. And Suji is a from Mask Network, and the Mask Network, he's the founder of Mask Network, which is one of the earliest decentralized social. And Dr. Putin, he's from Omakase, Kudasai, and the Kudasai is one of the biggest Web3 community in Japan, and they used to focus on airdrop community, and they right now doing both airdrop stuff and also the validators, doing a lot of validators. So yeah, I think that these guys are the best people to talk about this topic, and they giving the wisdom to this industry. So yeah, let's start from there. So I forgot to introduce myself, but actually I have a lot of time to introduce myself today, so yeah, I can skip that. So, so let's start from the question and the top. Talk about the topic. So, okay, airdrop economy started from 2020, maybe April, right? It was compound airdrop. Maybe some of you guys remember that, right? And the people got super enthusiastic about their airdrop since there. And the after that, so many airdrops happening in DeFi summer. Still now, people having chasing the airdrop, and this is a kind of core incentivization in this industry still. So yeah, let's talk about what's the difference from the beginning of this movement on the current stage today. So what do you think about the difference crypto space incentivized airdrop 4 years ago and now? So let's start from Scott.
Here we go. I think I'll probably have the most negative view of the current incentive model in Web3. I think, I got into the space in 2016, that sort of era of Ethereum, and a lot of the reason I got into it was because it was a lot of kind of really eclectic, weird people online just deciding to build smart contracts for various purposes. You had the MakerDAO folks who were sort of starting off. You had some of the folks like Golem who have now gone on to do more public goods funding. And I think that era had its share of challenges. I mean, certainly like the ICOs of that era had their own issues with incentives and with distribution. But I think, now we've kind of gotten to this point where the meta is almost like, it's a little bit like an Ouroboros, it's a little bit circular, because people are actually farming the airdrops, and doing these sorts of incentives for the sake of trying to, create more loops of incentives in the future versus trying to engage a core community. And so I think one of the things we have to be mindful of is like, how can we go back to thinking about who is the core community for some of these projects? What is the way in which they're going to actually, be incentivized to consider the community for the long run? And how can we make sure that as a community, we form those norms, those normative cultural settings that enable those kinds of, people to be brought to the forefront and those kinds of projects to be brought to the forefront. I think that there's a lot of really cool stuff that, even for us, for Gitcoin, we did airdrops actually. So I'm kind of, aware of some of the things that worked really well for that, but also some of the things that worked not so well for that. But I think that long-termism and that sort of like return maybe back to some of those core community values is a big piece for me. So that's a very spicy first take, just to like sort of, I'll take one side of the sort of debate. But I think what I'd love to see is, you know, a lot more intention around early distributions to core community versus large-scale, broad distributions to folks that may be farming or maybe, you know, participating for the wrong reasons.
I see. Which are you focusing on, large scale or kind of more concentrated, kind of droppings?
I think that you can have a large scale if you're focusing on real users. The challenge is right now, a lot of things don't have real adoption yet. So until you have that real use case, that real like kind of product market fit, and you have people that are actively using this on a day-to-day basis, it's hard to get that distribution to people that you know are going to actually be engaged in that, you know, kind of product for a long time. So to me, that's one of the challenges.
Yeah, true. No, they're outside of crypto. People are staying outside of crypto because of they cannot use wallet or create wallet, right? So if we can airdrop these people to their wallet, there no reach out from there. And I think that what you're saying is totally correct on the. So basically, you're saying that the structure of this industry is still same, but the people act different from 4 years ago, right? So Suji, what do you think about that? How your user and these kind of people act differently from 4 years ago?
Yeah, 4 years ago, so our token was airdropped 2021 February. That's after the Uniswap, before Gitcoin, before ENS. I think we are one of the major airdrops. So I think by the top, we airdrop around like 20 million, 10 to 20 million US dollar value worth token. But 4 years ago, 3 years ago is very different. That you need to remind people to claim airdrop. And we literally go to like talk to ENS and talk to like all the other projects. That, hey, some of your community that have airdrops, can you retweet? Can you tell everyone? Then they tell everyone. Then still someone don't come. I think almost like 30% of which is 5 million words of token that time, 5 to 7 million words of token is not claimed. It goes back to DAO, and we use it for other purpose later on. But it's quite surprised because I think we set like 30-day-ish around a month. I think that like a month in crypto is pretty long, right? And everyone should read the news, and I'm pretty sure they already read news, so just don't forget it. That's 3 years ago. Now it's very different. Now it's like no matter you have airdrop or not, you just go check whether I have airdrop every day. I say, hey, maybe I have airdrop, and you just go check 10 projects every day. There's a lot of tools built for determining and tell you whether you have airdrops or not, right? There's a lot of tools on Telegram, on your wallet, just to tell you whether this address have airdrop. And there's professional farming studio, very, very, very professional farming studios. What I mean professional is they are even like larger than venture capital. They're venture backed, family office backed. They are professional with engineers, with more builders and projects. This is very funny. So when we launch Mass Token, we have around like 20 to 30 full-time employee. And by now we have the whole ecosystem. We have around 100 full-time people, and then we have a lot of investment. But I know a lot of farming studios, professional airdrop farming studio, they have more employees than us. They have 100 plus, like 200, 300. A lot of people are just like junior employees, but a lot of people. And I even hear a strategy. So because we do grants, we did the grants to Kudasai. We do many grants. We do small investments as well. I talked to some other people. I heard a strategy, very, very interesting strategy. They talk to some projects, say, oh, you're a good project, but your valuation is too high. So they just say, hey, your valuation is 400 million, that's too high, and we don't want to invest. If we invest 1 million in your project, then we have to wait for your listed, we have to wait for 3 years to fully unlock, then sell. It's almost like 4 or 5 years. It's even longer than pre-IPO. Stock IPO is only 1 year, half year lock, and 1 year you can sell. Then these guys think, okay, 1 million, I just invest and tell a farming studio, and they have like 300 guys, like 50 guys are engineers, more engineers than project. And then we figure out loophole of your projects, and then we farm your airdrops, and then we get the token in day one. We only spend like $500,000. So that's even better. This is very typical in the industry of hedge fund. If you know hedge fund, Wall Street hedge fund, this is definitely a typical trade because they just buy and sell whatever they can buy and sell, right? If you can buy and sell airdrop allocation, and you have more engineer than a team, you should do that. And I think that the ultimate problem is because of there's a super difficult choice between privacy and anti-service attack, and if we put them together, and if you hire outsource someone like I think a lot of chains outsource Nathan, outsource all these like big projects to do anti-service attack. But the question again, like, okay, Nathan, your value at like 1 billion, and but employees pool, right? Employees like just a young college kid. Someone can pay 10 times your employee and get the data, and then hedge fund always do that. This is like, done in the hedge fund for decades. And I think it's a sign of we getting mature, this industry getting mature. You don't need to tell people to claim your money. 2 years ago, we always say, hey, don't forget your money. People always forget, and they don't claim. Now they just come and wait for money, and if you don't get them, they just shit on you. So it's a sign this industry get mature, but it's still not mature enough. If you're mature enough, they come for the money, but they stay for the love. You know what I mean? Like if you're a celebrity, Web2, real celebrity, real IP, real idol, even if you don't have the airdrop of their fan pass, whatever, you might just stay for their song, for their content, and you just maybe buy more stuff from their whatever fan store, right? But we don't have good enough things like that. Okay, so these guys come for a job. If you don't get them, they just shit on you. They're not gonna pay you more for some stuff.
Yeah,
so
super informative.
That's the situation. Yeah.
Okay, so it's super informative. So kind of on the backyard economy here in this industry. So yeah, basically it's super matured. Farming studio driven industry, and so basically Kudasai led a lot of people information to their getting airdrop, right? And I don't think you're kind of farming studio, but basically you're kind of farming together, right, somehow. And what do you take on the kind of maturity of this this economy incentivization?
Well, actually, let me explain my thoughts. First, I know that there was an airdrop from Compound in the 2021, maybe it was a June or July, and there was a Uniswap airdrop in the September, and they brought many people to DeFi industry, and there was a boom for the trend for the DeFi at those days, and that makes that many people to become participate in the governance. And so decentralize it, to make it decentralized. But I know that, as he said, that there's some aspects of the promotional things in the airdrops. And as he said, there's the firming products will coming up. But fundamentally, I think nothing has changed in these 4 years, even before the Compound. As you know, there's something called Bitcoin Cash. It was emerged in 17 or 18, but why they become, why they emerge? Because of the difference of the ideology, thoughts, physiology among the Bitcoin community. I've seen somebody say that it was a war between SegWit and the Big Bot. So their thoughts were different. So they made a new coin, and they airdropped the Bitcoin Cash to the Bitcoin holders. So what I want to say is that the philosophy is first, and after that, the monetary things came up. I think this flow is not changing even these days. But I know that now the products are using the airdrop for the promotional things, so that's why there's so many airdrop farmers came up recently. And if you say that is the measure of the mature, maybe this field is being matured. But it's not full matured yet because not most of the Web2 companies entered yet. And it's not, we still need the evaluation for the contribution to the people. Maybe it will not be the form of the airdrop, but those things is the important things for the Web3 field. So everyone's looking for how to decentralize and how to participate in the governance, decentralize everything. So in that way, I think it's not mature yet.
Yeah, cool take. On the you said that, or no, you talk about the Bitcoin Cash and the no. I remember that how Binance got big, right? No, yeah, Binance got big, no, such a big, starting from the no trade, no dealing with every single, no, kind of not airdrop, it's the fork coin, no, like no, there are so many stupid kind of no airdrop, like no, at that moment as well, it was like Bitcoin Diamond, Bitcoin Pink, and Bitcoin Silver. I don't know, no, it's a kind of endless list of the Bitcoin blah blah at that time, and Binance dealt with their no airdrop all of these coins to their no their holders, let's say, no users of Binance, and they got such a big, right? And basically, yeah, as you said, incentivization of the industry didn't change so much, and also, yeah, we can see, no, you implied that, no, kind of philosophy starts, and after that, economy and the incentivization comes after that, and it's kind of implying that we have another philosophical phase after this.
Yeah, I know that. But when you launch your own token, somebody will price your token. So that means that the philosophy first, and somebody will monetize your token. I mean, that is
cool. Yeah, and actually, okay, so basically, in crypto space, yeah, there's philosophical people, and of course, there are no traders and the investors and the users and the many kind of people. Some people, of course, appreciate airdrops, and also there kind of people wanna criticize airdrop, right? And okay, so how many of you guys are kind of against this incentivization? Do you guys think it's a good incentivization to kind of maintain this industry? Yeah, let's say for 5 years, for example. So Suji, Scott, what do you think?
Well, I mean, I think I'm against like a specific type of incentivization. Like I should clarify, I don't think incentives are bad. Like we need incentives for things like markets to function. Like you have prices, you have like price discovery, you have people deciding on what to buy and sell based on like actually engaging in some incentive system. Economies just are incentive systems. But like, I think we have to be really intentional about the kinds of systems we're designing. So actually Bitcoin Cash is an interesting example because I think there was a lot of sort of deliberation about that as a fork, but like fundamentally it's a very different type of airdrop because what you're doing is you're trying to create a separate community that may have different values or different like opinions that is going to still then gain traction and future value based on some real work, like a proof of work in the case of obviously Bitcoin. But like, I think staking similarly is like something that's more interesting than airdrops for a similar reason. And maybe there can be strategies that tie those things together, but I think you need some way for people to be participating in the system. There's a reason that I think like for Ethereum proof of stake works really well and that there's so much incentive and sort of motivation for people to try to get more sort of staking share and so forth, which is one of the challenges that we see, in the ecosystem today. But it also means that we have an opportunity to sort of get more people individually involved. Like the solo staking movement is sort of part of that, like the promotion of trying to get individuals into that sort of part of the incentive structure. I think generally things that allow people to think more long term, like proof of work or like proof of stake, where they feel some engagement. I guess my point is when you are doing some work, when you're putting in some energy, you naturally feel like a lot more tied to something. And I think it means also that you are making a choice. You're making a very intentional choice that you can't just farm everything. You have to choose which thing that you're going to be putting your resources towards and your energy towards. And I think that's what we should sort of think about with incentives at an ecosystem or economy scale versus just on a project-by-project basis.
Yeah, very good on the, yeah, the first part, no, the incentivization should not be explicit and obvious. It's quite hard to take, in my opinion. Have you ever heard of the story about the being late for the picking up children in preschool? Some parents didn't come on time, and they started to kind of do the penalty, like a $10 per delay. So only one person was delaying from the beginning, but after introducing the penalty, all people started to delay because they can feel free to pick up their child late time by paying penalty. So yeah, basically make it obvious, make a kind of makes a ton of excuses. So yeah, it's quite interesting kind of relationship between that story and Suji. So are you against airdrop or kind of what do you think about the airdrop?
I think the society is about alignment. I mean, not only crypto, the whole real world society is about alignment and incentive. So you work hard, at least in a free market capitalist society that you work at. Maybe it's not good or not. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you can do socialism, but you work something and you get something, right? And there's also like jobs that don't really get paid, have social ranks. If you're a college student, like here, college professors at like UN or other like NPO, NGO, government or related affiliate entities, these are really low paid jobs, but you get a better social class. So I mean, it's society, it is incentive, but it's very wrong when you not align with incentive, with the goal, right? I mean, the reason I think a lot of those like higher education system is not super well paid because it's not incentive that way. It should not align that way. If you want to do big money, just go Wall Street.
Which is the biggest example of the misalignment?
Yes, and in crypto, there's already a few misalignment, big ones. Like for example, Blur is a big misalignment. Like, what's the point of NFT? If your point of NFT is your favorite cyber wife, then you should not trade it, right? You should not trade your favorite cyber wife or cyber cat, cyber whatever, cyber dog, cyber monkey. If your point about NFT it is a investment vehicle, then it's you guys it's your fault to get these things attention from SEC. So the Blur thing is like when they come out, I have through conversation with the team. I think they totally get wrong with the alignment. I think that's the biggest problem. They think they should incentive on trading, which I think is probably not. Like for real art shit, you should incentive on holding. So a lot of these arts, real arts of human history, they've been holding for decades and decades in different families, and ends up they evade like wars, evade different kind of problems, and they finally get into the museum. Everyone can see it. You should incentive holdings, but if you incentive holdings, then probably Blur is not going to list it on major exchange. So they think, oh, okay, maybe my token won't list it, so we incentive something different. That short time will fundamentally change the fundamental of some aspects, some things like NFT.
Oh.
So that's why when Blur come out, NFT market just busted because the incentive on not holding, the incentive on you not on a collector. It pretty much like this. Like if you're a college professor, your incentive to become more professional, more academic achieve, you just become Nobel Prize winner, Turing Prize winner, whatever. But now if we say, hey, if you're able to get endorsed from Elon Musk, then you're going to become headmaster, right, of the UN college. Then the thing you do is like tweet every day and just try to beg from Elon Musk. Say, hey, Elon, can you visit our college and invest in our college? If you do that investment, if you do that like incentive, most of the higher education system will ruined. Even though I think is not that bad, but if you do that misalignment, the system will fuck, right?
Okay.
It's the same thing for Blast. When the Blur team introduced Blast, it's like it's incentive on TVL, right? TVL, but the TVL, the fundamental, the underlying presumption is like layer 2 are banks, right? If you're banks, big TVL is
So
definitely
yeah,
good.
sorry.
Yeah.
No, the
Yeah.
next next one is coming. So yeah, can
So
you
so
finish it?
don't do
second?
don't do misaligned incentive. It's even worse than no incentive. 'Cause if it's no incentive, people do it out of love. If you misalign them, it's even worse. Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. So basically, yeah, no, that's a good point there. No, misalignment is a core kind of problem of this kind of sustainability of this crypto industry, not limited to crypto industry, but no, everywhere. And so we only have 1 minute. And okay, so what do you think about the kind of how do you think the kind of period we can have for the sustainable airdrop in our kind of ecosystems, or how does it end, or what's your expectation, Dr. Budin?
Well, actually, we're the community, but not for the airdrop, but for the sharing the latest information, like cutting edge information.
Yeah, of course,
to-
I know that.
Yeah, to
I know.
educate people to keep the newest trend. The many Japanese have interest in the newest information and what is blockchain. So, so we want to make it the the education to be incentivized. They said, and in that way, as he said, there's the trend that the many NFT marketplace and the perpetual access to them to pay the fees. So we don't like those kind of things, but we want to pursue the newest things, newest information about the trends. So in that way, well, the new things will accumulate the attention and from also the VCs. So maybe they will accumulate the funds. So maybe they can incentivize the people who use it, who relate to it, who contribute to it. So in that way, I think we'll continue.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's a good take. No, there not depends on their structure itself, but it
Yeah.
depends on their people back in the the economy and this kind of structure.
Yeah, even now there's some kind of perpetual access is failing.
Cool. So thanks for this session, and the next section is coming super soon. And yeah, so please make applause for this great guests. Thanks so much.